Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Deadpool and Wolverine's first footage has been shown to limited audiences in international markets, in Shanghai earlier this week, in Seoul on July 4th, and in Berlin on July 7th. This 30 to 40 minutes of footage includes some big reveals apparently, so spoiler warning for this video, but throughout this video we're also going to talk about some big confirmations we got about Cassandra Nova from Entertainment Weekly, as well as a confirmation that Ben Affleck Daredevil might indeed appear in this film, and another tease from Ryan Reynolds that Taylor Swift might cameo in a film, even though Entertainment Weekly still says it's not happening. So we're gonna start with this new information we received about Emma Corrin's villain, Cassandra Nova, from Entertainment Weekly. They reported in their write-up on the film, we also know the story involves Cassandra Nova, played by The Crown Emmy nominee Emma Corrin, who sports a bald cap and long fingernails to play the duo's psychic adversary with a complicated comic book history. Pushes up glasses. She's not technically Xavier's twin, but rather an alien parasite that appeared to Xavier in utero and formed into his polar opposite. As Corrin recalls, quote, Ryan and Sean pitched this idea, which I was totally on board with. We want this villain to be not a villain in the sense that you expect them to be. We want you to be so endeared by her, so charmed by her, and just when you think that maybe she's totally seen into your soul and you are going to be best friends for life, you're dead. The article goes on to compare the character to Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, as well as Christoph Waltz's Hans Landa in Inglourious Basterds. We've already seen flashes of those in trailer footage, from Cassandra's arrival seemingly unable to walk in Professor X's wheelchair before standing and walking down a ramp, to another shot of her drinking from a teacup, reminding us of Hans Landa's sweet tooth when he was drinking a glass of milk or smoking an extremely large pipe, and then in a later scene eating the apple strudel with cream. We noticed Cassandra Nova's oddly extended fingers in an earlier trailer, and at the time I wondered if it might just be an effect from the lens they were using for the scene. Now this article confirms that they used prosthetics to elongate her fingers to make her look a bit like E.T. the Extraterrestrial, which, since that race cameos in Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace, was given the official name of Asogians. Both in this article and a video from Entertainment Weekly with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman, they are emphasizing Cassandra Nova as an alien.
Emma Corrin plays the villain Cassandra Nova, who is a super powerful telepath. Cassandra's technically an alien, but also kind of a twisted sister of Professor Xavier. Not twisted sister like Dee Snider.
Now, I'm not sure if the prompter text that Hugh Jackman was reading there came from Entertainment Weekly or from Marvel Studios. I'm guessing it was from Entertainment Weekly, but I'm also not sure if describing Cassandra Nova as an alien would be coming from Entertainment Weekly or from the studio talking points that these outlets might have been sent. Because to push those glasses even further that they pop out the back of my head, Cassandra Nova, who originated in Grant Morrison and Frank Quitely's new X-Men number 114 in May 2001, is technically what's called a Mumudrai, which is a term from the alien race of the Shi'ar. That's the bird-themed species of Lilandra seen in X-Men 97. But a Mumudrai isn't really an alien, it's more of a cosmic spirit, kind of a shadow self that's the equal and opposite of a person, and these normally exist really on like a metaphysical plane that transcends whether that person is on Earth or off Earth. So it's not totally accurate to describe it as an alien. It's just that the alien Shi'ar race have a deeper understanding of the concept and their own term for it than the people of Earth do. And in the case of Charles Xavier, since he's such an advanced telepath, his Mumudrai took a physical form alongside him in the womb, taking the form of a twin sister, and these two fetuses ended up locked in a psychic battle. But you know, if Entertainment Weekly got the alien talking point from the studio, it might just be the case that the movie itself is simplifying the concept of a Mumudrai, or whatever they decide this version of Cassandra Nova is in the movie, to be less of a cosmic spirit and more of just an alien parasite, as they describe it, that just infected Charles Xavier's mother, Sharon Xavier. And yes, we should point out that this article, at multiple points, links back to Charles Xavier, Professor X, by reminding us of Cassandra's link to Charles, to even the opening words of the article describing Ryan Reynolds' gestures while recalling shooting X-Men Origins Wolverine with Hugh Jackman in 2008 as a subconscious imitation of Professor X. Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier, is one cameo we haven't heard much about in recent months, but in the early months of development of this film, Patrick Stewart did indicate that he was told to stand by for a call. I just don't know how this movie explains Cassandra's background without touching upon her relationship with Charles, even if the character is hinted at off-screen. Now, extending Emma Corrin's fingers with prosthetic fingertips could be a move to make her look more like E.T. or some kind of extraterrestrial race, or maybe just set up Deadpool to call her E.T., and it might just be so that she could do a bunch of hilarious, unsettling physical gags, like, you know, that Please Don't Destroy sketch.
You got longer fingers?
Oh my God, we are not making this about my fingers.
Wait, you extended them?
You know how many YouTube comments there were about how short they were before.
Well, now you look like the Babadook.
Wow, Martin, how about you go shh?
But these longer fingers could have also been a physical deformation that Cassandra suffered after losing that womb psychic battle with fetus Charles. Maybe through her repeated attempts to telekinetically reach out over her life, it caused her fingers to lengthen or something. Geology has been sponsoring us for over 2 years, which is crazy because that means I've been a daily Geology user for 2 years now. When we started, I thought, sure, I'll take some free face wash and shampoo from work, why not? But then I started noticing smoother, more hydrated skin, fewer blemishes, and less oilness. Do you have any idea how much footage of myself I need to watch at this job? I notice these things. And now over 3,000 of our viewers have also made Geology part of their daily routine. They've shared reviews with us saying things like, the products are easy to use and definitely have a real impact on the look and feel of your hair and skin. Highly recommend. And also, not a skincare guy, well, at least I wasn't. This stuff is amazing and the products are top notch. Want to see for yourself? Just click the link in the description below, take a quick 30-second quiz, and Geology will figure out your routine for you. Just click the link in the description below to get 90% off your first skincare trial set and 20% off your next full-sized order, or go to geolog.ie/rockstars90x20 to get started. But one thing I should point out from this Entertainment Weekly article is that this outlet now doubles down on debunking the highly speculated Taylor Swift cameo. They link back to their own article from a few weeks ago where they use the phrasing, Entertainment Weekly can exclusively confirm that the pop superstar is not in the film, yet in that article provided no attribution upon which to make that exclusive claim, other than an even older April quote where the director, Sean Levy, said that he wished he had shut down speculation earlier. But that in and of itself was not a denial that Taylor Swift was in the movie. We ended up making a whole video explaining how Entertainment Weekly probably talked to someone on the film on background and thus could not quote them directly, and maybe Entertainment Weekly operates under an editorial policy advising against using phrases like according to sources close to production, because in the field of journalism, anonymous sources are really supposed to be a break the glass move used by hard news outlets like the Washington Post or the New York Times to protect whistleblowers who could face physical danger or imprisonment for talking to the press. It could just be that Entertainment Weekly is not crazy about how often outlets like Deadline use things like per my sources, or I'm hearing that. Hey, at the end of the day, Entertainment Weekly could be completely correct about Taylor Swift not being in this movie. It's a great publication. They tend to get things right. I just think that Ryan Reynolds has proven to be a master at marketing and manipulating the press, at knowing his audience, even playing games with things like leaks, because let's not forget, it was probably Ryan Reynolds who leaked that test footage back in 2014 to excite the fans and pressure the studio into greenlighting the 2016 Deadpool film, giving us this entire franchise. So I wouldn't put it past Ryan Reynolds and his marketing company at Maximum Effort, or maybe people at Marvel, to leak something to the press to do some pre-release expectation management in order to give Ryan Reynolds more control over the exact promotional narrative of this film. Because Ryan Reynolds keeps playing these stupid little games to give us hints that Taylor Swift might still appear in this movie. This week, he posted an Instagram story from his account that posed Deadpool from behind, recreating the exact framing of Taylor Swift's album cover for Evermore, and used her song Evermore as the audio for the Instagram story. Now, Rotten Tomatoes posted about this, and Rotten Tomatoes is the same company as Fandango, and it was Fandango's Jacqueline Coley who most recently asked Ryan Reynolds to his face the Taylor Swift question in an interview that led to Ryan giving a teasing non-answer that kept the speculation alive and seemed to really annoy people at Entertainment Weekly to making their exclusive claims. All of this is to say, we are 3 weeks out, and I genuinely have no idea. And I recognize that I have probably been played as much as any other media source, and I'm honored to be even part of the ecosystem. I am a self-aware cog. Now, we did get confirmation in the form of Coca-Cola product packaging tying in with Deadpool and Wolverine that in addition to Jennifer Garner Elektra, Ben Affleck Daredevil is probably going to appear in this film, as many of us have expected him to. And this huge cameo brings us to the international press footage that we have been hearing about. We saw a description from the footage that apparently was shown in Shanghai, but it was posted on a very, very weird website called maxblizz.com. And who knows if this site is legit, because parts of it often do not always load when you boot it up. So please take it with a big old grain of salt. But in case this ends up being correct, spoiler warning, feel free to stop watching this video now. Okay, so this description is of a supposed 30 to 40 minute preview, and this description reads as follows. It's very violent and funny with great action sequences, an excellent score, and some deeply emotional scenes. It has a very violent connection to the ending of the Logan film. Various versions of Logan appear, including one as a zombie, many cameos, many jokes about Fox and Disney Disney were included. All the scenes in the trailer are within the first 40 minutes of the footage. Wolverine versus Hulk. Lady Deadpool wore a mask but had a voice that sounded like Blake Lively's, and it felt like a blend of the epic scale of Avengers Endgame and the irreverent humor of Deadpool. Now, the reason we're okay talking about this is this would be footage that was shown to press in these other places. And since Marvel Studios was okay showing that footage to press, I think they must have been okay with people like us finding out about it. But let's go through some of these. Quote, all the scenes in the trailer are within the first 40 minutes of the footage? I don't know what that means. Is it saying that all of these cameos and big moments described here happen in the first 40 minutes of the film? If so, Hulk and Lady Deadpool? Those are pretty big reveals for the first third of a 2-hour movie. Okay, Wolverine versus Hulk. I think this is a matchup that many of us are dying to see. And we do know from trailer footage that Wolverine sleeps in Hulk's jawbone bed from Sakaar from Thor Ragnarok. Lady Deadpool being voiced by Blake Lively, not entirely inconsistent with what we have been theorizing in videos, especially after that recent promo where we saw Lady Deadpool's feet walking out from a sling ring portal. And then a very violent connection to the ending of the Logan film and a zombie Logan? Make it sound like we could be revisiting Logan's gravesite from the 2017 movie with an attempt to reanimate his decaying corpse. We know from trailer footage that this film will revisit the location from the 2017 Logan film. So did Mark Ruffalo suit back up in the mocap suit so the Hulk could reenact the fastball special with Wolverine? Would this movie reveal something that big to press people in Shanghai, Seoul, and Berlin 3 weeks before the release? Hey, we don't have to wait too much longer to find out. Comment down below with your thoughts on all this. Follow me at Erik Voss. Subscribe to all 3 channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.